usually if you trigger someone, it's because you're triggering a wound in them that's not being recognized, it's not being seen, something about them that is like, fuck, like she's like that. And it's like making me really like sit and think, like, now when I see my kids doing something and it's like fucking pissing me off, I'm like, ooh, that's interesting. Like, why is that making me mad? And it's just like this domino effect. Like, that's your wounds coming up to be healed. It happens in kids, and I'm like, okay, but what actually happened? Like, my daughter, she just turned 10. Like, okay, that made you mad. That person did that. But why? And when she explains it, she goes, oh, Mom, I don't like it when people do that. Or I do that, and then it bugs me. So there's just like all of these little things, and it's so crazy when you start to realize it. So I'm curious, has this happened to you? Like, were you the kid, you were trying to prove your worth? So you're like, I'm just going to speak up then. You're always trying to prove something. Or were you the kid that did nothing? You were the fawn. You were the one that like hid in the corner. You didn't want to be seen. You didn't want to be recognized. You kept your head down and just like did your shit. And what are you now? Who are you today? Like, I'm not asking your job. I'm not asking if you have kids or whatever. Like, who are you today? For me, I've finally balanced out the bluntness. I like to say I balanced it out. I am the person that will speak up for others, especially for the people that are too nervous to use their voice. I will encourage them, but I will also be the one to like speak up and be like, hey, this is what's going on and it needs to be changed. Or this is a situation that happened. Why has no one mentioned it to you? Especially when you're looking at like an authoritative figure, or if you have a boss or whatever it may be, speaking up for other people. And I do it in a nice way. I like to think that it's nice. And I always tell them like, hey, no offense to you, but here's what's going on. Have you noticed this? And 90% of the time they're like, I had no idea. The other 10% of the time they're like, I kind of had a feeling, but I didn't really know. So I'm curious, which kind of kiddo were you and who are you today?